standing in front of a map or a backdrop related to war. Welcome back, viewers, to our YouTube channel. Today, we have a thought-provoking topic to discuss. Rules of war, or, as it's officially known, International Humanitarian Law. It's essential to understand these rules that govern armed conflicts, as they play a crucial role in protecting civilians and minimizing suffering during times of war. So let's dive right in. Before we delve into the specific rules, let's start with the basics. International Humanitarian Law, or IHL, is a set of rules that regulate armed conflicts. Its primary objective? To mitigate the impact of war on vulnerable populations and establish limits on the conduct of armed forces. IHL has a rich historical background, evolving over time to adapt to the changing nature of warfare. It's important to note that these rules apply not only to conflicts between countries, but also within nations during internal strife. Now that we understand the purpose of IHL, let's explore its key principles, which form the foundation of this body of law. The first principle is distinction. Parties involved in armed conflicts must distinguish between combatants and civilians. This means that deliberately targeting civilians or civilian objects is strictly prohibited. The goal is to ensure that military actions are directed solely at legitimate military objectives. The second principle is proportionality. This principle mandates that the anticipated harm caused by an attack must not exceed the expected military advantage. It's about balancing the need to achieve military objectives with the duty to protect civilians and limit collateral damage. The principle of military necessity is another crucial aspect of IHL. While it allows for the use of force necessary to accomplish legitimate military objectives, it simultaneously places limits on the means and methods of warfare. This ensures that the suffering of individuals is minimized. Humanity and non-discrimination are guiding principles of IHL. They emphasize the importance of minimizing human suffering during armed conflicts and prohibit any form of discrimination based on race, religion, nationality, gender, or any other factors. Moving on to specific rules and protections under IHL, let's explore some critical aspects. First, we have the protection of civilians. IHL places great importance on safeguarding civilians during armed conflicts. Parties to the conflict are prohibited from intentionally targeting civilians, and they must take all necessary precautions to minimize harm to them. Additionally, IHL provides specific protections for prisoners of war. Combatants who are captured are entitled to humane treatment, proper living conditions, and the right to a fair trial. These protections are outlined in the Third Geneva Convention. Medical personnel and facilities also receive special protection under IHL. It's crucial to ensure that healthcare workers can provide medical care to the wounded and sick without fear of harm or attacks. This extends to hospitals, ambulances, and other medical infrastructure. Lastly, IHL recognizes the importance of preserving cultural heritage. Rules are in place to protect cultural property, such as historical sites, monuments, and museums, from deliberate destruction. This safeguards our shared human history and cultural diversity. Enforcing compliance with IHL is a vital aspect of ensuring the rules are followed. Let's explore how this is achieved. International organizations, such as the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, and the United Nations, play a crucial role in promoting and monitoring compliance with IHL. They provide support, guidance, and training to countries and armed forces to ensure adherence to these rules. When serious violations of IHL occur, it's necessary to hold individuals accountable for their actions. The concept of war crimes comes into play, with international tribunals and the International Criminal Court, ICC, established to prosecute those responsible for grave breaches of IHL. Back on screen. As we come to the end of this video, let's recap what we've learned. International Humanitarian Law, or the rules of war, provide vital protection for civilians and establish limits on the conduct of armed forces during conflicts. Adhering to these rules minimizes suffering and ensures accountability for any violations. I encourage you to continue exploring this topic and educate yourselves about international humanitarian law. Understanding these rules empowers us to advocate for peace, protect human rights, and work towards a more humane world. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking content. Links to additional resources and organizations working in the field of IHL can be found in the description below. Let's continue the conversation in the comments section. Until next